She had 4 children with him. She was pregnant with another man's baby. And on October 2, 2020, she shot the father of her kids 5 times in the chest while he begged her to stop. Then she stored his body in a cooler at the funeral home where she worked and dumped him in a river. She thought her lover, a deputy coroner, would protect her forever. She never thought her own 19-year-old daughter would walk into court and bury her. Stay with us. This one ends with a mother's sentence to die in prison. Gregory Rice, 39, and Meagan Jackson had been on again, off again for 15 years, 4 children together. They finally split for good in 2019. By November 2019, Meagan began an affair with Christopher Dontell, married, 2 kids, and Horry County deputy coroner. They worked together transporting bodies. Meagan became pregnant with Dontell's child. She wanted Gregory gone and his $500,000 life insurance. She even sent anonymous texts to Dontell's wife Erica, exposing the affair and pregnancy, then blamed Gregory to frame him.
October 2, 2020, 10:30 p.m. Meagan lures Gregory outside his Conway apartment, saying she needs to talk. Dontell is waiting in the dark. According to Dontell's later testimony, Meagan pulled the gun and fired 5 times into Gregory's left side as he tried to run. Gregory collapsed, pleading. Meagan forced Dontell to help carry the body to her SUV. They stored Gregory's corpse overnight in a cooler at Myrtle Beach Funeral Home, a place both had 24-hour access to because of their jobs. The next day, Dontell bought a tarp, zip ties, and cinder blocks at Lowe's, caught on camera. That night, they wrapped Gregory's body, weighed it down, and dumped it in the Little Pee Dee River. October 5, Meagan reports Gregory missing, crying to police. November 8, 2020, fishermen find the body. Cell phone pings, license plate readers, and Lowe's video lead straight to Meagan and Dontell. Both arrested. Dontell takes a plea, accessory after the fact and conspiracy, max 20 years, in exchange for testifying against Meagan. Trial, June 2025, Horry County. Day 3 of trial. The state calls its most devastating witness, Savannah Rice, 19, Meagan's own daughter.
Could you just state your name and then spell your last name for the court?
Savannah Rice, R-I-C-E.
May I go?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And Savannah, I know you're nervous. I get it. If you can just make sure you speak into the microphone and just slow down a little bit so that the court reporter can hear what you're saying. Okay? And you always have to give what we call a verbal response. So if I ask you a question that's yes or no, you just have to verbally say yes or no. Okay?
Okay.
How old are you today?
I'm 19.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have 2 sisters, a half-sister, and a little brother.
What are your parents' names?
Gregory Rice and Meagan Jackson.
Were they ever married?
No.
How would you describe your father?
He was a very flawed man, but we all did know he cared very much about his kids and his work, and he tried very hard for the people around him.
How would you describe your parents' relationship?
It was not great at all. There was constant fighting. They were mean to each other, they were mean to the kids. They weren't compatible. You didn't hear "I love you" very much throughout the house.
You said you didn't hear "I love you" very much, but did you ever hear your parents say "I love you" to each other?
No.
At some point, did your parents break up?
Yes.
Where did you and your brother and your 2 sisters live?
We lived mainly with my mother.
Did your brother and sisters go to stay or visit with your father from time to time?
They did almost every weekend.
What about you?
I chose to stay home.
Okay. And And that's okay. Why did you choose to stay home?
He would make me nervous, but also my mom would tell me that we would go do something fun together, so she would bribe me to stay home, and I would.
Despite the fact that you did not go over very often, did you still maintain contact with your father?
To the best of my ability. My phone was disabled due to my mother. I could only receive calls.
When your brother and your sisters would go to stay with your father, would he pick them up and drop them off? Would your mother pick them up and drop them off? How did that work?
My dad always came to the house to pick them up, and he would bring them back as well.
When your father would come to pick your siblings up, did you go out and talk to him at all?
Yes, I would go out and I would have a chat with him, tell him I loved him, give him a hug. That was about it. I'd tell him if I was going to come over the next week or not.
At some point after your parents began living separately, did you meet a man named Christopher Dontell?
Yes, I did.
How did you meet him?
I met Chris because one, knew that he worked with my mom, but two, we moved into his neighborhood and I met his family and we started to hang out with his family and him.
At some point, did you come to know that your mother was having an affair with Christopher Dontell?
Yes, but not at first.
Okay. How did you find out about the affair?
I had some friends over and it was quiet. We went downstairs and we heard them having sex in their bedroom and it just kept getting louder and louder. And the next day I asked her and she said, "I thought you knew."
Do you know about how long that was before your father went missing? And if you don't, it's okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. This will sound like a silly question, but do you remember when your father went missing?
October 2nd.
What do you remember about sort of that time period?
Before or after?
Right after, when you found out that he was missing. So October 2nd was a Friday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened the next morning?
She woke up, we all got up. She got the kids ready to bring them to our dad's, which I already thought was weird because he always came to pick them up and he would come in to see me or I'd go out to see him, which it didn't happen this morning. So she got the kids in the car and...
If you just take some time to breathe, it's okay. Do you need some water?
She brought the kids to his house and she called me and she was really frantic. She said she had searched everywhere. I'm sorry.
It's okay, take your time.
She had said she had searched everywhere. She looked in his car, she couldn't see his keys or his wallet or his phone. She looked in the windows and then she said she's gonna call the police. And they came back and that was really just...
How did your life change after your father went missing?
My mom wasn't home even more often. She wasn't home due to her job most of the time, but it became a lot more when he went missing. Everybody was really emotional. We didn't go out at all. My mom did, but we didn't. We really just stayed in the house.
It's okay, take your time. Do you remember when they found your father's body?
Yes. I do.
Camera on Meagan, largely expressionless, watching as her daughter spoke through tears and visibly shaking. Next, the man who helped dump the body, Christopher Dontell, takes the stand. He's already pled guilty. Now he tells everything.
Were you... I'm going to sort of jump around just a little bit, because I'm going to go to after the murder and before the murder. Were you interviewed multiple times by law enforcement prior to your arrest?
Yes.
Did you tell the truth during those interviews?
No.
Why?
A few reasons. One, I was still trying to protect my job. I had a family, a house, I had a career, I had a good life, and I'm trying to protect it. I'd also been threatened by my co-defendant that if I ever told the truth, she'd kill me.
You said one of the reasons is that you were trying to protect the house. You had a nice house and a family. Does your family still live in that house?
No.
And some people might think it odd that a man is afraid of a fairly petite woman. Why were you afraid of her?
I was afraid of her because I watched her kill the father of her kid. And threatened to do the same thing to me.
All right. So
June 17, 2025. After 5 days of testimony, the jury returns.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I understand the jury's reached a verdict, is that correct? All right, and have you written the verdict on the indictment, signed it as the foreperson, and dated it?
Yes.
All right, if you would please hand it to the bailiff. All right, I'll ask the clerk if she would please publish the verdict.
Indictment number 2021 GS 2601191. The state of South Carolina, county of Horry versus Meagan Jackson as to the charge of murder. We, the jury, by unanimous consent, find this defendant guilty. Signed by foreperson Jeffrey Roberts, dated June 17, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if this is your verdict, please so signify by raising your right hand. Thank you.
I let the record reflect that all jurors raise their right hand. Any opponent of the jury by the defense? No, sir.
Sentencing is immediate. First, Gregory's children get to speak.
Your Honor, I believe that Zachary Rice is emailing a statement that he must have already had prepared. So with the court's permission, I'll read that one as well. He's a statutory victim, Your Honor.
Yeah, but why isn't he here? He has the right to be here, but he's not here.
Because he was forced to take custody of the children when their father was killed, and he has had to struggle to find jobs to now all of a sudden care for extra children. Your Honor, this is from Zachary Rice, who is the older son of Gregory Rice at the time. Once Gregory Rice was killed, Zachary Rice took custody of the 4 half-siblings. And he did this fairly quickly since we did not have WebEx available to him. He says 5 lives completely shattered, showed no remorse, waited 5 years for this, just celebrated Father's Day without him again. I would like the maximum in sentencing, took my father's life, and I want her to pay eye for an eye and lose hers. And then, Your Honor, if I can have Ms. Savannah Rice come up. Your Honor, she's understandably emotional. She says, Your Honor, I believe that my opinion for how long she should be sentenced does not reflect what has already been done. This crime has torn apart my family, others' families, and friends beyond any measure. My siblings and I have all suffered greatly, not only from the loss of my father, but the loss of a mother too, the loss of our lives. We have been waiting so many years for just a bit of closure, and this is it. We will never have the chance to freely live our lives without the thoughts of what has been done following behind us. It has become a challenge to rebuild and grow from everything that happened. There are still days where I just cry and wish I could go back in time to maybe prevent what happened. I can't do that, though, and I will forever have the thought that I can't change anything alongside me. This trial and getting up on the stand has been one of the most heartbreaking and painful things I've ever had to do. It has also been one of the most relieving and rewarding things. I finally got to say what has been sitting in my brain the last 4.5 years. It was a relief finally being able to tell the truth and to go towards a cause. I believe that 50 years to life would be a sufficient amount of time. I thank you for your time, for listening to what I had to say. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Jackson, you have been found guilty of murder by a jury of your peers. The sentence of the court, I agree with the state. The sentence of the court is that you be committed to the Department of Corrections for the remainder of your life. You'll get credit for any time, sir. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, anything further from the state?
Nothing from the state, Vern.
All right.
Life without parole. No contact with her children. Dontell Christopher will be sentenced later, up to 20 years. Meagan Jackson is appealing, but in South Carolina, life means life. A daughter who once called her mom helped put her away forever. Gregory Rice's children lost both parents that night in 2020, one to murder, one to a cage. If this one broke your heart and satisfied justice at the same time, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Comment below, could you ever testify against your own mother? See you in the next one. Stay safe.